Hello everyone, welcome to story time today. Today we've got some lovely books. My first one I'm going to start off with is Katie and the Dinosaurs by author and illustrator James Mayhew. Now these are some fantastic stories. Katie features in lots of different stories. Some of them involve art and some famous paintings and some dinosaurs, so I really recommend you check them out. So she gets up to all sorts of adventures and I think you'll really love them, so I really recommend checking out the rest of his books. And a big thank you to Orchard Books, parts of the Hachette group, for letting us read these stories today. And at the moment they'll be available at the end of September unless their copyright regulations change. So kindly let us read them on here, and you can watch them again and again if you want. Here we go. Come on, look, Grandma. Come and see the dinosaurs, said Katie. Katie loved the Natural History Museum, and she wanted to show her grandma everything. They're just a load of old bones, said Grandma. Well, you're really old, said Katie. There must have been dinosaurs alive when you were little. Oh, I'm not that old, said Grandma. Snorted Grandma, looking for somewhere to sit down. They found a seat next to a skeleton of a very fierce looking dinosaur. Why don't you go and look at your horrible dinosaurs while I have 40 winks, said Grandma. They're not horrible, sniffed Katie, but I do wish they weren't just skeletons. And she skipped off on her own, taking her picnic lunch with her, just in case she got hungry. Katie saw spiky dinosaurs, fishy dinosaurs, flying dinosaurs, horned dinosaurs and long dinosaurs. She closed her eyes and tried to imagine they were alive. She thought they must have been very frightening with their sharp teeth and claws. Next to one of the dinosaurs was a corridor. Katie set off down to make sure she hadn't missed anything worth seeing. The corridor was long and dark. There was no one in sight. Katie began to feel scared. She looked for a way out sign. There didn't seem to be one. She was lost. Now what do I do? Said Katie crossly. She came to a big door with a notice on it that said, "Absolutely no admittance whatsoever." "I'll just take a quick look," said Katie, and she opened the door and stepped through. The door led outside, and in front of her was a dinosaur. It was no bigger than Katie, but it was a real live one. "Hello," said Katie. "Who are you?" "Hadrosaurus," said the dinosaur. "Who are you?" "Well, I'm Katie," said Katie. "And I think I'm lost." "I'm lost too," said Hadrosaurus. "I was chased by a Tyrannosaurus Rex." You can see him. He's up here. He features in most of the pages, so watch out for him. "Isn't that the bit really fierce dinosaur?" asked Katie. "That's right," said Hadrosaurus. "Now I don't know how to get home." "Don't worry," said Katie. "I'll be able to see where we are from the top of this hill." And they clambered up a steep slope. "This isn't a hill," said Hadrosaurus, scrambling up behind her. Katie gasped. "Oh, it's a brontosaurus!" She was very high up and she could see for miles. "Now show me where you live," said Katie. "Oh, I think it's somewhere over there, along the riverbank," said Hadrosaurus. Katie looked across the river. "What are those funny-looking birds?" she asked. "Oh, they're pterosaurs," said Hadrosaurus. "Watch out!" But one of the pterosaurs had already spotted Katie's yellow scarf. It swooped down towards her, and before Katie could duck, it had snatched the scarf from her. "Hey, that's mine! Bring it back!" yelled Katie. I can spot the T-Rex is there. But the pterosaur was far away already. Now the brontosaurus started to move. She was getting fed up with those two noisy creatures jumping about on her back. How they made her itch. Katie hung on for dear life, slipping and sliding about on the Brontosaurus's back as she lumbered down to the river for a nice cool bathe. She was so huge that Katy and Hadrosaurus hardly got wet at all. There's the T-Rex there. See him? He's hiding in the corner. From high up on the Brontosaurus's back, Katy could look right out to sea. All sorts of strange creatures were swimming there. She recognised some of them from the museum. The ichthyosaurs with their long snouts, and the plesiosaur with its snake-like neck. Before long, the Brontosaurus reached the edge of the water. "Let's go," said Katy, followed by Hadrosaurus, and she slid all the way down to the tip of the Brontosaurus's tail, and they landed in a giggling heap on the ground. The Brontosaurus chuckled a deep, thundery laugh. "Oh, oh, oh, oh." "Which way now?" said Katy. "Into the jungle," said Hadrosaurus. Look, I can see the T-Rexes there. The jungle was hot and sticky. Through the trees, Katy could see a herd of enormous dinosaurs. "What on earth are those?" asked Katy. "I don't like the look of them." "Only stegosaurs," said Hadrosaurus. "They won't hurt us." "Are you sure?" said Katy suspiciously, as one stegosaur licked its lips. "Oh yes, they only eat plants," said Hadrosaurus. So Katy gave them some grass, and then they went through the jungle, and soon the trees began to thin out. And there's T-Rex again. Suddenly Hadrosaurus let out a squeal. "Mama! Papa!" he shouted. It was Hadrosaurus's family. His mama and papa hugged him, and hugged Katy too for bringing him home. "I hope you're not going to eat me," worried Katy. "Don't be afraid, Katy," said Hadrosaurus. "We only eat plants too." That reminded Katy that she hadn't had her picnic lunch yet. She was feeling quite hungry, but she politely shared her cucumber sandwiches and chocolate biscuits. She saved her meat pie for later. Plant-eating dinosaurs from far and wide picked up the smell of Katy's sandwiches, and they padded across the rocks towards her. There was a Styracosaurus and a Triceratops with their horns, and a Iguanodon with their spiky thumbs, and some ankylosaurs. Dinosaurs shook some strange-looking fruits out of the trees, and they all ate until they were full. It was the best picnic Katy had ever had. Suddenly, another dinosaur crashed out of the jungle. Oh no! It was Tyrannosaurus Rex. He had been following Katy and Hadrosaurus all along. He grunted and growled and ground his teeth, and he swished his tail, and he stamped his scaly feet. He was hungry, and he didn't want cucumber sandwiches or chocolate biscuits. He wanted meat, and he wanted Katy. "Quick, run for your life," said the Hadrosaurs. And Katy took to her heels. All the dinosaurs ran away in alarm. Tyrannosaurus Rex thundered after Katy and the dinosaurs as they ran through the jungle towards the river. Katy got out of breath, but she kept on running. At least she could see the museum ahead of her. It was if only she had stayed safely inside. Then she remembered the meat pie. She tore open her lunchbox and threw a piece at the Tyrannosaurus Rex. The Tyrannosaurus stopped in his tracks. He sniffed the piece of pie. He ate it up. He liked it so much that Katy threw him the rest, even though she had been saving it for herself, and the Tyrannosaurus Rex padded off into the jungle, contentedly clutching Katy's lunchbox. "Phew, that was close," said Katy. It was getting late now, and so Katy turned to say goodbye to Hadrosaurus. "I do wish you could come home with me," she said, "but Grandma would only scream and make a fuss." "I'm happy here with my family anyway," said Hadrosaurus. He gave Katy a lick. "Thank you for helping me find them." "Ugh," spluttered Katy. Those dinosaurs have very sloppy tongues. Then she went back through the door into the museum. This time, Katy easily found her way through the museum. Grandma was waiting where she had left her. Where on earth have you been?" asked Grandma. "I've seen all kinds of dinosaurs," said Katy. "Why don't you come and have a look too?" "All right," said Grandma. "Where do we start?" "This way," said Katy. Taking her hand, off they went. Wow. There's also an extra page here. I'm just going to read it to you. It's all about dinosaurs. Hope you like that one. It said more about Katy's dinosaurs. Dinosaurs, terrible lizards, lived millions of years ago and all died out very suddenly. Nobody knows why this happened. We can still find out a lot by looking at their bones. These bones are called fossils because they have been trapped and preserved in rock. We can tell how long the dinosaurs lived, that what they ate, and best of all, what they looked like. Perhaps there is a museum near you where you can see dinosaur bones or even whole skeletons. Remember how old they are. Try to imagine, like Katy did, what they must have looked like. Here is the meaning of the names of all the dinosaurs in the story and how to say them. I didn't get one right, did I? I'll read you to them. Hadrosaurus, big lizard. And there's Tyrannosaurus Rex, king of the tyrant lizards. Stegosaur, plated lizard. Triceratops, three-horned face. That's the one I struggled with. Styracosaurus, spiky lizard. Ichthyosaur, fish lizard. Plesiosaur, near-to lizard. Pterosaur, flying lizard. Brontosaurus, thunder lizard. Iguanodon, iguana tooth. Ankylosaur, rounded lizard. There we go, you can see them there. Let me know your favourite dinosaur. I'd love to hear it, and you can comment below. It's been lovely to read to you today, and watch out for the other book that I'll be uploading later. Lovely to see you again, and hopefully I'll see you again soon for another story. Bye bye.